I made it to the finals of the Mon Challenge on the 20th of October with my build of 4-color Keruga Omnath. This video will be showing gameplay from round 2 of the challenge, and I will be giving my commentary for the gameplay of this round. Hope you enjoy this video. Round 2, Game 1, and I'm on the play. So I keep a decent-ish hands. Has 4 out of the 5 lands I would need to cast everything in my hand, but I have early removal, Leyline Binding. My opponent's on a Gigantha deck. This is Mardu Energy. And this is confirmed with the Shadow Backstreet. But this hand, I have 7 I kept is pretty well set up for any Gigantha deck. At least until I draw more removal. Other than the Leyline Binding. So I think I actually make a mistake here. I think that the Goblin Bombardment should have been hit with Leyline Binding a turn ago. And yeah, this is a mistake here. I should have kept my Leyline Binding up instead of playing the Omnath. Because now I'm really exposed to Sajani. If they somehow manage to hit another one, and yep, that's exactly what happens. My Omnath dies. Yeah, this is why it was important to use the Leyline Binding on the Goblin Bombardment much earlier. Because now my mana is a lot more stranded. Because of the lack of Omnath on board, I could have gained an extra life here actually, while doing all of this. An extra 2 life, because I didn't fetch a shot. Doing the same play. And yeah, I lose. And yeah, it was a pretty crucial mistake here, not using this Leyline Binding on this Goblin Bombardment earlier, instead of playing the Omnath, which I did. I think I could have prevented at least getting hit for game on this specific turn. And yeah, just one key mistake costing me the game here. On to game 2. Round 2, game 2. I'm on the players I lost the last game. I want to discuss the sideboard plan for this matchup, Mardu Energy. I bought out one card, which is Teferi Time Raveler, and bring in the Cosmic Rebirth. I bought out Teferi Time Raveler instead of Endurance, like I do in the Boros Energy matchup, because I don't know the specifics of my Mardu Energy opponent with regards to Chthonian Nightmare, at least at the time. So you want to keep in the extra endurance to potentially break up any loops the opponent could have on Mardu Energy with Chthonian Nightmare, and boarding out to Fairy Time Raveler because you want to be a little less exposed to Orcish Bowmasters. However, in general, Teferi Time Raveler is better against the energy decks because it can bounce ring, and slowing down ring draws is a way to win the game, in my experience, essentially. But yeah, this is Mardu Energy, so not Boros Energy, and preferably you would just board out one Teferi Time Raveler, just in case there is a Chthonian Nightmare loop. You will need that extra endurance. And yeah, the hand I keep is fine. If the opponent is playing Ragavan, I have the Solitude Pitch to remove it. They don't seem to be. I Solitude now, because if I wait until their turn, they could play a second Ocelot Pride, and still get the trigger to produce an extra token. I pitch the Omnath, because I think more removal in my hand will be more important in general. I discard the land, since I just want to find a good 4-drop here, maybe Ring, maybe another Omnath. And I don't mind the ping for 1 by the Orcish Masters. And I flash in the Endurance here in response to the Thoughtseize, because I want to save myself some life. So flashing in the Endurance disincentivizes the attack by the Orcish Master and the Okami token. But also, they then only have a choice between a removal spell and a removal spell. So Fire Rise and Solitude, and either one is fine, I guess, in this situation. So it's okay. Yeah, so Flage hits my Reflection of Kikijiki. And again, no attacks. So I decide to play the Keruga here, because this is probably the only time where I'm not going to take that much damage from trying to get value out of it. So the worst case scenario would be drawing something like the second Orcish Masters, at least for me. And then I will be effectively not able to cast the Keruga. So it's good to lock in the value at the time. Also, it's a pretty big body on Keruga. The 5 power is very good at closing out games. And I do need to win at some point. Need to start working on life total, so that's why I attack here. Keep back 2 blockers, in case they top deck something that could randomly game me out of nowhere. I Leyline Binding the Goblin Bombardment, so they can't plan any random lines that bait an attack, and then kill me on the crackback with the extra damage provided by the Goblin Bombardment. Just flash in the Endurance to be mana efficient. I might need all my mana next turn. Only attacking with the Keruga here, because my life total is still quite low. So here I bounce the Orcish Masters, then attack to see if they'll block with the Orkami token, and then I decide to bounce the Orc token, because I know the Orcish Master is coming back down, but regardless of whether I did that extra bounce or not with the second Teferi, one of these Teferis is going to die, so I might as well get rid of both. Lock in the card draw while keeping the number of attackers on my opponent's side as small as possible, both in number and in toughness and power. So I think I did get quite lucky here in this game. It's mostly been a top deck war where both players have been semi-flooding, but I ended up coming out on top, especially with this Alash Norn. And yeah, I win that game. On to game 3. Round 2, game 3. I'm on the draw as I won the last game. No changes in the sideboarding. Mulligan a hand, that's a bit awkward on the mana. Kept a hand, and I misclicked. I should have kept the Force of Vigor instead of Alashnorn. Alashnorn is fine against energy, it's just that I don't want it this early, usually. And the Force of Vigor is a lot better. And, yep, Force of Vigor would have been really nice here, as an eventual plan to permanently remove this Goblin Bombardment. And, yeah, getting very punished for that misclick. And now I really wish I didn't make that misclick, because I have to use this Leyline Binding on the Ajani, but they have the Static Prison, and the 2 targets, the Force of Vigor right there, would have been really useful here to prevent the flip and a lot of damage. I think this game highlights the importance of Force of Vigor right now. If I had the Force of Vigor extra instead of the Alashnorn in hand, I could have played Teferi, and this is why Force of Vigor is such a good answer right now, because it lets me tap out, develop my boards, and with Teferi, importantly here, its velocity for getting to the 4th land and eventually casting this One Ring. So I have to try and draw into something here. Unfortunately, not enough. Very clearly not enough by a large margin. And I lose the match. So I hope one thing that's learned from this match is that Force of Vigor is actually quite good. And just the importance of being able to answer things while being able to develop your board is very important in the current format. And cards like Force of Vigor let you do that.